This is a Chromebook and it has the Chromium operating system installed on it. It's good, but I don't like it and I just wanted to install a new operating system on this one. So what would be a better option than Linux? So I do have another laptop that for my daily use, I have a Windows 11 Pro on this one. So I'm sort of pretty tired of using Windows and want to try a new Linux operating system or a Linux based operating system. And since this is a Chromebook, it's not powerful. So I wanted something lightweight that could handle this, the hardware could handle, and I think Linux Mint would be a good option to go with. So in this video, we're going to install the Linux Mint operating system on this one. And in order to do that, there are 3 steps that we have to do first. First, we have to enable the developer mode on this Chromebook, and then we have to enable the BIOS options with the script that will be provided. And also, then we can create a bootable drive that we could boot the Linux Mint through this one. We just plug it in and install on this one, and then we'll see how it's gonna go, how it handles, and how it would be. Will it be usable or no? So if you're someone that has a Chromebook or want to transition from Windows to Linux, this is a video that you can watch. And if you have a Chromebook that is sitting around and dusting, you can use it to install a Linux and get a new experience with a new operating system. So let's go and enable the developer mode on this Chromebook. To start, we have to enable the developer mode on this Chromebook. In order to enable the developer mode on this Chromebook, we need to restart this first, and then I'm gonna just shut down for now. Once it's shut down, there are 3 combinations of the keys that you can press together at the same time so that you could enable the developer mode. So now the Chromebook is turned off. We can press escape, refresh, and also the power button all together at the same time, and then it should bring us to this page. It's going to say please insert a recovery USB disk or SD card. If you don't have, it's totally fine, because I don't have anything on this one in order to back up. But if you do have, try to insert a USB drive or SD card in order to back up your files and keep that. If you see this page, don't worry, just press Ctrl D. Press Ctrl D, and it's gonna say, to turn the OS verification off, press enter, your system will reboot and local data will be cleared. To go back, press escape. But we want to do that because it's gonna turn off the operating system verification and it will turn on the developer mode. We're gonna press enter, and then it's gonna reboot, and we should see that the OS verification is off. It means that we are good to go and the developer mode is on. So in order to escape this page or this screen, just again press Ctrl D, and you should be able to see your Chrome operating system turn on. So as you can see, your system is transitioning to developer mode. Local data has been cleared. Modification you make to systems are not supported by Google, may cause hardware issues and may void warranty. Keep that in mind and do this on your own risk. Cancel, turn your computer off now. And again, it's gonna start in 11 seconds or 9 seconds for now. So after that, it will automatically turn the Chrome operating system on in the developer mode. Okay, now it's preparing the system for developer mode. This may take a while. Do not turn off your computer off until it has restarted itself. So I think it's gonna take about 5 minutes or something, because we do have a timer there. And let's see. The timer is almost up, about 2 seconds now. It should be done. Yep, so it took about 5 minutes to enable the developer mode. As you can see, OS verification is off. Press space to re-enable. We don't want that. We just saw when you again was presented with this screen, just do Ctrl D and it should boot your Chrome OS normally, but in developer mode. As you can see, it boots up normally, no issues at all. And then there you have it. You have your Chromebook ready to be used in developer mode. And that's it. Now we're gonna flash the UEFI firmware. We need to log into the Chromebook and download and run the firmware utility script on this Chromebook in order to enable the boot options. That I'm gonna first connect to the Wi-Fi network and then log in, and then we'll jump into running the firmware utility script. So now I'm connected to the Wi-Fi network, and then let's get started. Okay, I'm already connected, and then I'm gonna just for personal use, next. So this is the Chromebook that we have already logged in. So in order to install the script, I'll provide the link in the description of the video as well, but it will be, come on, got it, but it will be at the Mr. Chrome, it's got Mr. Chromebox dot tech. And then, so once you're logged in, go open your Chrome browser and then go to the following link that is shown here. I will provide the link in the description of the video as well. And then once you are, we need to run the firmware utility script. And to do that, the script is right here. It mentions that if we need to run this, we should be on a VT2 terminal. And then for that, we need to press Ctrl Alt F2. Ctrl Alt F2 would be, let me show you. So the F2 would be this arrow here. If I enter that, it's gonna go localhost, and this, the username would be Chronos, I guess, Chronos. Okay, now we are logged in Chronos, and then we can exit this first. Okay, Chronos. So we are logged in as a Chronos, and to return to the browser, we can again press Ctrl Alt the F1, which would be this arrow, and then we can go back. Now I'm gonna just copy and paste this one. So now that we are back on the browser, I'm gonna copy this script here. Okay, let me copy this one, copy it, and then again we're gonna press Ctrl Alt F2, and then we are already logged in as Chronos, and then I'm gonna just paste it. I don't know why it didn't copy it. Let's go back. Okay. I haven't used the Chromebook much, so it's a little bit tricky. So now that we are back on the browser, we need to copy this script. I'm gonna just select this one and then Ctrl C. And then again, go to the VT2 terminal by pressing Ctrl Alt and F2, which would be the next arrow. Here, I'm gonna just Ctrl V. I don't know why it doesn't Ctrl V. I can't paste. Okay, let me go back to the browser. So when I used the Ctrl Alt F2, I wasn't able to paste anything on this here. So I just did a little Google search, and it says that when the window is open, you can just press Ctrl Alt T and then type shell. It should give you the same shell as that. Now I have already copied this script here. Okay, I'm gonna come back here and then Ctrl Shift V. We should be okay. Hit enter, and then it should install. The no new privilege flag is set, which prevents sudo from running as root. If sudo is running in a container, you may need to adjust the container configuration disable flag. Okay, let me do sudo here. Let's see what happens. Come on. Okay, the sudo flag is set, which prevents sudo from running as a root. Okay, let me type this command manually, or maybe let me go back here. Then Ctrl Shift V. No, it doesn't allow me. Again, go back. For some reason, I'm not unable to paste this command in a VT2 shell. That's why I'm gonna just type it manually. So I'm gonna go back to the shell and then type the command as cd. And then I'm gonna type the command as cd perl capital L-O. Okay. Now it's downloading the supported files, downloading the required tools, and also getting device system info. So now it should run, and it may take about a few seconds to a minute or something. And then, as you can see, all the options are available. We're gonna install and update the UEFI full ROM firmware. We're gonna set the boot options to. So first, we're gonna go and do the install update raw legacy firmware, or we can do the install update UEFI full ROM firmware. I'm gonna do the two. So flashing the firmware has the potential to break your device, requiring relatively inexpensive hardware and some technical knowledge to recover. Not all boards can be tested prior to release. I'd say yes. Okay, press enter to return to main menu. So now it's loaded, and we are gonna go and choose option 1, which is install or update the RW legacy firmware. Hit enter and then hit yes to continue. It's gonna downloading the RW legacy firmware update. It's going to run it, install it. It should take about a few seconds to a minute. We're going to pause the video and come back when it's done. So as you can see, it says that the RW legacy firmware successfully installed and updated. Press enter to return to the main menu. Okay, and that's it. So now that we are done installing the legacy firmware, we're going to just turn the computer off by holding the power button right here. In order to install the Linux Mint on a new laptop, we first need to download its ISO image and then create a bootable USB drive with the application called Rufus. Also, there are other applications that you could use as well, but I prefer Rufus. So first we have to go and download the Cinnamon edition. There are different editions of Mint. There's the Cinnamon edition, there's XFCE edition, and also Mint edition. Just choose preferably whichever you want. So for the purpose of this video, I'm going to download the Cinnamon edition. Just click on the download button right here. And here you see the information about this ISO image. It's about 3 GB in size. It has the installation guide, release announcement, also release notes. Just come down here and click whichever works for you. I'm going to go through with the Linux Mint, or I can also go with the Clarkson University, USA. And it should automatically download here, or start the download here. Let's just wait for a bit. Yep, it's gonna install the download here. As you can see, the Linux Mint 22.2. So now we have to wait for this to download, and then meanwhile you can go to this Rufus and try to download this also. Make sure to choose the language here. The language should be English International, or whichever language that you are comfortable with. And then come here, and you have the option to download the standard option or the type or portable, and also there are x86 and also 64. I would go and download the latest version for the standard one. Click on this one, and it should also start downloading on the top corner here. We're gonna see it in a second. Yep, as you can see, both of them are now downloading. This one is already done. It was just 2 MBs, 2 megabytes, and this one is, since it's almost 3 gigabytes, it's gonna take a while. So I'm gonna pause the video and we're gonna continue when it's downloading. So now that the downloads for Linux Mint and also the Rufus are done, we do have it right here. As you can see, we do have the Linux Mint and also the Rufus. What you got to do is just click on the Rufus to launch it. Okay, and then let me bring it up here. So as you can see, it automatically detects my USB drive here, which is a 16 gigabytes USB drive. Make sure to back up any important files that you have inside your USB drive, because it's going to format it. So first you have to do is just go to devices, choose it automatically detects your USB drives, but if you have plugged in multiple USB drives, just make sure to choose the right one. And then it's asked the boot selection, disk or ISO image. I think we're gonna go with disk or ISO image, because we're gonna go here, and then as you can see, Linux Mint here, open that, then that's selected. So do you want a persistent partition size? No, we don't want any persistent, because we're not gonna live boot the Linux Mint on this USB. We just needed to install it. Leave the rest of the options on default. If you want to change the name of the volume label on this one, change it. Otherwise, I would just put it the same and hit or click start. It's gonna show you a pop-up message that write in ISO image mode, which is recommended. Say okay, and this image uses syslink whatever application only, includes the installation files for okay. I would say yes. And then there's the as mentioned, the warning that all data on the device USB-D will be destroyed. So if you have any important files, make sure to get a backup of it. Otherwise, just click OK. For me, I don't have anything there, so I'm gonna just hit OK. OK. Multiple partitions. OK. It's okay. It's gonna delete everything and then write this the Linux Mint ISO image on that. Now we gotta wait for this to finish. It's now copying the ISO files, and we'll see you guys when it's done. So now it's ready to be used. We're gonna close this one. I can show you here. If you go to this, let's say this PC, as you can see, this is the Linux Mint. So we do have the bootable USB drive right here, and it's ready to go. So now what we can do is just turn on our laptop, or if you have a PC, or if you have for example, a Chromebook, we can just plug the USB drive onto that and start putting it and installing the Linux Mint on it. And that's how you can create a bootable USB drive for Linux Mint using the Rufus. So now that we have a bootable USB drive, we can just plug it into our Chromebook and then turn it on. Once you're presented with this screen, press Ctrl L and then it's going to say press a numeric key to select an alternative bootloader. So I'm going to press 1 and then I'm going to press escape for the boot options. Now here you should go to the boot menu, hit enter, and then we're gonna do the SMI corporate USB disk. That would be your USB if you're using a USB as well. Hit enter, and then it's gonna bring us the boot menu option for the Linux Mint. So we're gonna start the Linux Mint 22 or the Cinnamon edition. Choose one. You can use the arrows on your keyboard to navigate. I'm gonna go and just use the first one. Hit enter. Then it should take a while, a few seconds, a few seconds, and it should bring us to the Mint Linux installation. So we have to wait for this to load. So now that it's loaded, you can just test it out how it's gonna work. Try to install, try to see, just feel it, how it looks. And then you can also connect to an internet, Wi-Fi network, and fill it. So now we're gonna, in order to install the Linux Mint and you want it to run on this Chromebook or on your Chromebook, you're gonna go and just click on Linux Mint, install Linux Mint. I'm gonna double click on this one. It should take a few seconds to a minute. First, you're gonna choose the language, which I would choose English, continue. And then English US, okay, continue. And then I have to connect to the Wi-Fi network. I'm gonna connect to a Wi-Fi network. I'm gonna use this one. Okay, I have connected to the Wi-Fi network. As you can see it here, I am connected. Now we're gonna go and double click on this one to install the Linux Mint on this Chromebook. You gotta wait a bit just for this to load. Okay, now it is loaded. We can choose the language here. I'm gonna choose English. You can choose whatever language that works for you. Hit continue. And then English, and also you can choose which region. I'm going to use the English US. Continue. So it also asks to install multimedia codecs. Install multimedia codecs are required to play some video formats and properly render some websites. I would install this because I might need to, and then you do have the option to either choose to install or not. And then hit continue. Now it's going to preparing the Ubuntu drivers. So now the installation type. You either have to choose to erase the disk and install Linux Mint, or you want to choose something else. So this will delete all programs, documents, photos, music, and other files operating system. I'm going to choose the first option, which is erase disk and install Linux Mint. I'm going to install now. Now we're going to wait for this to finish. Okay, write the changes to disk. Okay, continue. And then it's going to ask me which region I am. I would choose Chicago. Continue. It's going to ask my name and all other information. So I'm going to choose my name, password. Okay, you do have the option to choose log in automatically or require my password to log in. I would choose require my password to log in. And also you do have the option to encrypt your home folder. Continue. And then it's going to copying files, and this installation process is going to take some time. And once it's finished, I'm gonna pause the video for now and we'll be back when it's done. So they already copied the files. Now it's installing the system on this Chromebook. So the installation is almost done and we are waiting for this to finish. So as you can see, the installation is complete. Installation has finished. You can continue testing Linux Mint now, but until you restart the computer. Any changes you make or documents you have will not be preserved. Okay, I don't need to continue testing. If you want to test more, you don't need to actually because you've already installed it, but I'm going to just restart now. Okay, it should boot into the Linux Mint operating system. Okay, it says that we have to remove the installation medium. I'm going to remove the USB drive. Okay, removed it and then press enter. If you're presented with this screen, make sure to press Ctrl L and then press a numeric key 1, and then it should automatically boot to the Linux Mint operating system. Okay, now it's booting to the Linux Mint operating system and we should be good to go. Let me put my password, and we have successfully installed the Linux Mint operating system on this Chromebook. So it says welcome to Linux Mint startup. It's just first steps, documentation, if help, contribute, and then I'm going to close this one. And then that's it. So as you can see, we are on this laptop or in this Chromebook, and we are, who am I? And I'm Noyon. And that's it. Yep. And that's how you can install a Linux Mint on a Chromebook. Thanks for watching. And if you like the video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and also comment if it helped or if there was any error or something. Just drop it in the comment. We would be more than happy to help to resolve it. Thank you, and see you in the next video.